the law force INEC to make card reader mandatory, to make biometric captures mandatory. Don't forget, not only in electoral issues, in issues also regarding our head count, our census, we have a lot of scam. We know that the last chairman of the Population Commission was sacked because he was saying openly that he intends to include data capture using Google satellite imagery to count houses and use that to also count the number of persons in such homes. So for me, the important thing in this is the leap into the digital age. And that is the one protected by law, because everything INEC says are suggestions, which the people in power can always kill. But the ones that we protect by law is the legislation. So I'm looking more to the senatorial amendment that brings the elections into the digital age. For me, that is the most revolutionary thing that has happened. Don't forget, legislatures purposely and politicians purposely don't allow any digital manipulations in our elections because they know these things are far more corrupt. So if we can start now by building digital registers of voters, by building biometric captures of voters, and to be honest to you, when we started biometric implementations in the banks, this was my mind. I was very happy. I told myself, once the biometric capture works in the banks, the BVN, the next thing will migrate those implementations onto our electoral systems. And with that Senate amendment, we have now started that migration. That means we can actually know who we're dealing with. We will be able to talk about, not look at Kanu. On the same day of election, the National Assembly election captured 800,000 votes. The same day of election, they talked about presidential election at 1.8 million votes. So this kind of disparities, if we have biometric captures and digital registrations of really happenings, which are now uploaded through real-time broadband efforts, I think we'll be able to cut down on the electoral fraud.
Okay.
I'm looking at
thank you. Ezekiel, he has thrown up two things.
Yes.
The first he just glossed over.
Yes.
And that for me is of the utmost importance.
Yes.
The issue of the independence
Yes.
of the electoral body.
Yes.
Should we not also be talking about that?
Yes.
How to ensure that the electoral body is
Yes.
independent
Yes.
as its name suggests?
Yes. There's no man that does not have something that he fears. You can either fear the executive or you fear the people.
Good.
For as long as we are docile and cannot stand up to be feared as a people, I'm not talking violence now. I'm talking of all the professionals that sit in their comfort homes to talk on the social media and do nothing about it. And everybody knows that they are just, like somebody once described the young people, they are just whatever toothless bulldogs, you know, ineffective majority. For as long as we stand that way and we are very docile, for so long will INEC be afraid of the executive that can put them and remove them, not even the legislature. But if the people of Nigeria, I beg to disagree with my very great friend Kachi that INEC is that institution that we should have nothing to do with in terms of counting on their credibility. The past tells us that. But probably I'm having benefit of first-hand information or relationship. You know, I was the national chairman of Young Democratic Party. The very first meeting of IPAC with INEC. IPAC is the Inter-Party Advisory Council with INEC, which is the 30 chairmen of the political parties. That was the very first meeting that the present chairman of INEC addressed. And I was shocked at the things he said positively. Number one, take some powers away from me because I do not have the capacity to execute such powers. It was a deviation from the conventional because everybody wants more powers. But he told us in-house, we're just 30 of us, please take these powers again from me, number one. Number two, please, I beg of you political parties, do everything humanly possible to support me to make sure that we have full electronics voting in this country. He brought out facts, data, and statistics why he will not succeed except certain things are the way they are. And it led to what they call inconclusive elections that my brother was talking about. And people have not asked why. And that almost cost him his job, because it was very easy to pander to the administration and declare results. He said, no, let's go through specific processes. And on the light of that, he put pressure. And I also had a peculiar advantage in the sense that while I was the chairman, from day one, people knew. It was on this program, you remember very well, when I said what happened about the choice of the Senate president, and I said it was about 2019. And I know one man talked a lot and said, you are not a politician, you don't understand. And I said, no, now I've been proved right. But what happened then?